Have you tried and had some moderate levels of success in your life, but are seemingly all of a sudden feeling extreme amounts of overwhelm, exhaustion, burnout, stress, so on and so forth, or just not seeing the results that you once had? Well, I'm going to share with you one of the big aha moments I had recently. And I hope that this will help you to not make the same mistakes I have. And if you find yourself where it totally connects and you realize you've done this, we're going to walk that through a bit for how you can get to the other side of it. Okay, so to be totally honest, I got knocked out with an extreme sickness, not the main one that's been going around, but some severe health issues. And I was basically bedridden for a week and a half. And my health, I have seen massive shifts forward in the past 6 months, really. So that was not normal for me. And when I was knocked out, and I had to cancel, reschedule clients, my work schedule, everything to focus on my health. I was sitting there and had this aha moment because leading up to that, I was just getting more and more and more burnout, overwhelmed, frustrated, stressed. And that's not my normal disposition or way of being. I've worked really hard to learn what I needed in my own life to let go of or add to pad myself so I could have more of a balanced life. That's a huge thing of importance to me, especially as I'm managing homeschooling my kids, a family, business, clients, professional endeavors, projects, so on and so forth. I am pulled a ton of different ways, but I had gotten myself to the point where I didn't feel pulled. I didn't feel that. I felt really good in this place of balance. And that worked for a short period of time. So I realized as I was knocked out and being able to just take a break for a moment, that was one of the things that was missing. I had not allowed myself a break in so long. Now, my family and I, at the beginning of the year, started implementing what we believe to be the more true definition of a Sabbath, which is one day of full rest. Rest, nourishment for the body, some fun, whatever is really needed to release the past week and get energized and ready for the upcoming week. And I found myself that even on those Sabbath days, I was still working in my head. I was kind of jittery, ready to get back to work. So even though I had removed the physical components of work in my life, my mind was still all the time on all the things that I had to do because I do have a very full, packed life. And I'm happy with where my life is at now. There's a lot of times where I was busy and it wasn't a good thing for me. It wasn't moving me forward. It was busy work and just a lot of basic necessities in life. But now there is so much good stuff. So that can be challenging too in our heads to go, well, we have all these good opportunities. So what is actually necessary? Just because it's good doesn't mean you have to cram it all in right now, because regardless, you still have only so many hours in a day. You still have only so much time and resources in a week. There's only so much of you to go around. So my mistake was I got my business up and running. And in January, when I did my first assessment and goal setting, intention setting, and kind of mapping out the first couple quarters and that loose overview of the year, that projection, as well as my own health, family, all the goals and all the areas of my life, I was at a very different place from where I was even 3 months after that. But I was still planning, my schedule still was going in that original place. I did not do regular maintenance and assessment as I should have done. Now, I was implementing that for my emotions, my mindset, and some other areas in my life, but I was totally neglecting the other component that my business had taken off significantly. I've had more clients than I've ever had. I have amazing projects going on behind the scenes, and those all take extra time and energy. And there's different things connected to that. I was not accounting for that or accommodating that in my actual schedule, in my energy reserve, in my family schedule, and the readjusting we have to do for every new thing that comes up across the board. And especially with my self-care, I had all these amazing things happening. And I'm like, well, that's amazing. I've been working so hard to get to this point. But I was cutting out the things that were really important for sustaining that and just not accommodating my schedule, not adjusting. So that's something that I realized I have to shift. Now, whether it is your health goals, your finances, whatever area of life it is, there is a need to consistently reassess, especially if things are shifting. So, a good way to do this is once a month to look at, maybe the end of the month or the very beginning of the month and reassess the last month. How is it the same? How is it different? What worked, what doesn't work, or what did work and isn't working anymore. And then you just move forward with that new goals, the new schedule, the new action plan for the life you're actually living right now, rather than trying to accommodate that for a year before or a month before. And then just scheduling that date with yourself to reassess and go through. And if there's anyone else connected, like, maybe it is a spouse, if it's your household goals or family, maybe just all sorts of different things. Like you had kids and then they graduated and moved off on their own. So you're in a whole different season of life, and what worked or made sense before no longer applies to you right now. So the importance of understanding that for each season of life, especially, to go ahead and shift and accommodate for that. And that can also be an underlying reason why you may be feeling depressed, stressed, burnout, or just blah in life, because you're not living the life you're actually living right now, if that makes sense. So that is what has shifted a lot for me as well. And it's just little tweaks here and there. And specifically, like just giving you permission. I'm going to share a little bit of my story here for your own inspiration, that I have so many amazing things coming. I also have to work very hard with my health. My health is a priority. My family is a priority. So the bottom line with that is I have to take care of my health. And I learned that when I was knocked out. My family basically had to take care of me 24/7, which was huge. And it's just not fair. It wasn't necessarily my fault, as far as I didn't intend or plan for that to happen. I wasn't consciously doing things, but what I wasn't doing was putting myself first. I allowed other things to come in and crowd out my health routine that I had seen positive shifts in. And very quickly, I got off the rails. I realized I need to go back a bit because I had accommodated my new schedule for my improved health so I could take on more. And now I have to go back and reassess that and go, you know what? I need to keep my health at the forefront right now. So I'm going to put that into my schedule first. And then I'm going to place and even pad time around any other professional, business, and even personal dates, things that I have going on, projects, etc. So also setting healthier boundaries for myself. Like I'm only going to have X amount of appointments a week. I'm only going to have X amount of clients a week. I'm only going to say yes to X amount of projects with this amount of time involved, or I'm going to have to postpone it to this So putting those healthy boundaries down for myself so I can look at it and set that responsibility level with myself to ensure that I don't get back to that place. Now, realistically, we're going to go through those time and time again, but you can use that feeling of burnout, stress, exhaustion, depletion, whatever it is, or even just kind of frazzled nerves where you find yourself snapping more than you would. Um, Whatever that sign for you is, you can allow that to trigger a warning flag in your head that goes, I need to stop and reassess this season of my life and what I'm actually doing. And does this actually make sense? Is this actually helpful? Because even if it makes sense, it doesn't mean once you apply it, it's actually going to work. So it has to be this continuing thing. The results are going to be what you feel and look at in your day-to-day life. If you are looking at this life that is so overwhelming for you, that's not working. You should be able to come from a place of feeling peaceful, contentment, excited, and you just make some tweaks to get back to that place. So that's also what we're kind of going into and unpacking in the Onward and Upward course that is in its new relaunch as we speak. And we're continuing this because this has been so transformational for us. So you can find out more information at the link below too. If that sounds interesting for you, if this was relevant and helpful for you, and you'd like to get some more help and kind of some one-on-one guidance with that too, reach out to me at the email provided too if this was very helpful for you, if that was your aha moment too, and if you would like a little help moving forward. So make sure that you click the little bell to be notified of every time that I go live and put out a new video, like and comment to let YouTube know that you like this so you see more and more of the same content. Your life matters. Now go live like it does matter.